So yeah, good evening everyone, and thanks again for joining us. So I'm going to take you through what's in HiveAlive and give you a brief background to some of the data to support its use. Okay, so first of all is what is HiveAlive? So it's a highly concentrated liquid feed supplement designed to support colony strength. So you add it to your sugar syrup, and we like to say that it turns your syrup into super syrup. It's available in multiple bottle sizes to suit all operations. So our smallest bottle there feeds 10 colonies, right up to our largest bottle, which feeds 1,000 colonies. We do have single feed packets available, so some of you might have tried those out. So they're little tester samples. And we're so confident that you like our product that we're happy to distribute those to your clubs. So do ask your club if you're interested, and they can get in touch with us and request those samples to be sent out. HiveAlive is manufactured to strict manufacturing guidelines. We follow GMP and HACCP, and it's fully EU and FDA compliant. And we sell it all over the world, so it's available in over 40 countries worldwide since we launched it back in 2012. So what's it made out of? So let's take a look at the ingredients. So the bulk of HiveAlive is actually made up of our unique blend of seaweed extracts called OSHA Shield. It also contains thymol and lemongrass, and we're going to look at each of those ingredients in a little bit more detail now. So first, let's have a look at lemongrass. Lemongrass is commonly used in beekeeping. It calms the bees and makes the sugar syrup more attractive to them. We have incorporated the optimal concentration of lemongrass in HiveAlive. Too much lemongrass may cause robbing, which can be observed with other bee supplements that contain too high a concentration of lemongrass. And then lemongrass also has antimicrobial properties, which further supports bee health. We'll move on to the next ingredient, which is thymol. So thymol has historically been used for the treatment of nosema in honeybees. One of the drawbacks of its use is its tendency to separate in syrup. However, we use a unique emulsification process, and so this ensures that it blends easily into the sugar syrup and never causes separation or recrystallization. And then the star of the show, which is our OSHA Shield. So it's a very unique blend of seaweed extracts that were specifically selected for honeybees. The seaweeds are extracted using a patented cold process technique that helps maintain the bioactivity of the extracts. While it is unusual for bees to be fed seaweeds, the practice of adding seaweeds to other animal feed is long established. Seaweed active extracts have been used in animal feed to help reduce pathogens and to improve productivity, general health, gut health, immune function, and nutrition. So the reason seaweed extracts are so beneficial is due to their natural antimicrobial, antiviral, antifungal, immune-boosting properties and prebiotic activity, as well as high levels of vitamins and minerals. So what does this mean for you? All this leads to stronger, healthier colonies that are more productive. So now we're going to look at some of the reasons why beekeepers would want to feed HiveAlive. So the 4 biggest reasons why beekeepers use HiveAlive is for defense against pathogens, increasing colony population, increasing honey production, and improving overwinter survival. We're going to take a look at what data there is to support each of these top topics. HiveAlive is actually one of the only feed supplements for bees that has supporting data published on it in a peer-reviewed paper, which is the Journal of Apicultural Research. And we also have gathered up a lot of feedback from beekeepers over the years who have been using HiveAlive for the last 15 years. You can check out our website to see the hundreds of 5-star reviews there if you're interested in that. So first up, let's look at defense against pathogens. And the first pathogen we're going to take a look at is nosema. So HiveAlive has been shown to reduce nosema levels and is the only product proven to maintain low nosema levels long-term. Now, you might think that your colonies don't have a problem with nosema, but more than likely there'll be some spore loads present in colonies. Some people might wait until they see a problem, but with nosema, it would appear that some bees can be highly infected in the hive while others are not, which can lead to biased results if you're monitoring spore levels, So we just advise to avoid the worry and keep the levels low with HiveAlive. So we're going to just take a look at some of the trial results to support this. So these results that are shown here are published in the Journal of Apicultural Research. So this graph shows the Nosema spore counts over time in a group fed HiveAlive in syrup, which is the yellow line here, and another group fed the same amount of syrup but with no HiveAlive added, so that's the navy line. Spore counts were taken in April, September, November, March, and then May. Now, we expect that Nosema levels would increase over winter and decrease coming into the summer, which is happening in the control group. But as you can see, the HiveAlive group has a significantly reduced spore load. So at the end of this particular trial, the HiveAlive group had 57% less Nosema spores than our control group there. We know of no other product that consistently lowers Nosema levels like this. So we do recommend feeding HiveAlive at least twice per year, but if you are only feeding once, the fall is the best time to feed, as you're helping to get the pathogen levels low before the colonies go into winter. When the bees store syrup that has HiveAlive added, it can reduce the Nosema spores in the hive as well as in the bees. So this is keeping both the bees and the hive healthier during winter. And we've plenty of beekeepers reporting these findings to us too. So there's a quote there from a commercial beekeeper who says they test their bees for Nosema in the spring and have found very low or non-detectable levels when feeding HiveAlive. So let's move on to another pathogen now. So we'll take a look here at chalk brood. So chalk brood is caused by a fungus, Ascospora apris. We had a lot of beekeepers reporting that they didn't see any chalk brood when they were using HiveAlive. So to investigate this further, we did some in vitro testing. We worked with the university here to grow the fungus, and we tested different concentrations of HiveAlive. So the plate on the left here is the control plate. So this is the fungus growing as normal, and the growth is the white stuff that you can see spreading over the plate there. The plate on the right has HiveAlive added to the plate. So what we found is that HiveAlive at feeding concentration stopped the growth of the fungus completely. So basically the fungus could not grow when HiveAlive was present, but could grow when HiveAlive wasn't there. We also, at the same time, we wanted to look at American foul brood. So we wanted to see what the effect would be on the bacteria that causes American foul brood. So again, the plate on your left there is the control plate, which does not have any HiveAlive added. So here we can see that there's growth of the bacteria, which are those little white dots that you can see all over the plate. Again, the cultures that had HiveAlive added at feeding concentration did not have any growth of the bacteria. So you can't see any bacterial growth on the plate on the right-hand side, which is the one that has HiveAlive added. Now, we don't believe that feeding HiveAlive would cause enough of an effect to be a treatment for this pathogen, but we do believe it can be part of a strategy to keep your colony healthy, keep pathogen levels low, and so that they don't develop into a problem for your colony. So now let's take a look at some of the data to support their claim that HiveAlive gives more bees. So this is a graph of colony population. So that's the number of bees monitored over time. So the colony population numbers were taken in April, September, November, March, and then May the following year. So again, the yellow line is the group that had HiveAlive added to their syrup, and the navy line is the group that just got fed syrup without HiveAlive. And the green bars there show the percentage difference between the two groups. So as you can see, the difference between the two groups steadily increases over time. So by the end of the trial, the HiveAlive group had nearly 89%, which is nearly twice as many bees than the control group. And this also shows the effects of HiveAlive are long-term. There's a gradual increase in the difference between the groups, and best results are seen with year-on-year feeding. And we also get a lot of feedback from beekeepers similar to this. We get lots of reports that their hives are exploding with extra bees and growing like never before. So I'm just going to show you another graph now, which also looked at colony population. So this is from a different trial. So again, the number of bees was monitored over time. And again, the yellow line is the HiveAlive fed group and the navy line is the control group. In this particular one, the colony population was measured in June, July, August, and then the following March, April, and May. Again, we can see that the difference between the two groups gradually increases over time. And at the end of this particular trial, there was 20% increase in colony population in colonies that were fed HiveAlive compared to control. So now let's take a look at honey production. I'll just skip it on there. So in this trial, honey stores were measured in June, July, August, and again in March, April, and May. Again, we're seeing those gradual increases over time, with the HiveAlive fed group having more and more honey stores. So at the end of this trial, the HiveAlive group had nearly 1.5 times more honey than the control group. And again, we've beekeepers that also report this back to us. We've a quote there from a large honey producer who noted that they have an average 25% increase in production when they feed HiveAlive. And just to note here that all the results that we are showing here all demonstrate statistical significance. And then finally, we move on to overwinter survival. So here, the control group had 15% losses, while the HiveAlive group did not have any losses. We believe this is due to the fact that the hives are stronger and healthier going into winter and that they're better able to defend against disease. Starting a long winter with a healthier gut is very important due to the fact that the bees are not able to get out for as many cleansing flights. This makes HiveAlive particularly attractive in locations where there's tough, long winters. And we do have a lot of beekeepers who use HiveAlive and reported similar findings, especially in locations further north. We have been chatting with some of our customers to see what kind of losses they have been seeing this year. And while the losses do seem to be increased compared to other years, the feedback we are getting is that they think they would have suffered a lot more losses had they not been supplementing with HiveAlive. So that's it from me. Thanks for listening so far. Please do keep your questions coming in the comments. I know there's a lot of questions banging in there, and we'll do our best to get through them at the end. And yeah, I'll pass you over to Dara now. Thank you.